Okay, I'm going to take a crack at explaining my idea for the paintball system for elevation and traverse. We'll see how this goes. First, I kind of made a sketch of what I'm going to do for a bracket. There's going to be two brackets. One is going to be steel around the outside that'll be permanent and nothing moves. It'll be solidly braced in place. It'll have gussets to the outside, which will be right about here. So they'll be on the inside of the bubble or hump or whatever you want to call it. And so I'll be able to brace firmly to the sides and the top, and it'll be just like a square steel box hanging down. And in that box will be another box with pivots at top and bottom so that it can go back and forth for traverse. So these are the traverse pivot points. Okay, now the orientation of the gun in this sketch is wrong. The gun will actually be laying sideways, but the way the bracket will be mounted, it'll be in front of the handle, and you'll see that more in a minute. It'll make more sense in a second. And to the gun, I'll have, it'll be clamped on the front of the barrel. There will be pivot points right here, so the gun can go up and down for elevation. So the elevation pivot points are mounted to the inner frame, and the traverse pivot points are mounted to the outer frame. Okay, so now that I think that'll work pretty good, and I think it's something I can make. I can probably do it out of like 3/8 by 3/8 steel bar stock, flat bar stock, you know, and that way I can drill and tap and put it together with decent machine screws like 1024s or 632s or whatever I decide to use. And I think that'll work pretty good. But hey, you know, one of you guys might be named Ford, and you might really have a better idea, okay? It'd be a first, but hey, it could happen. But anyway, if somebody knows something better than this, or if you can think of anything that can improve on this, I've got traverse and elevation, and that's pretty much all I need. And you can see on the tank how the gun is going to lay. Now this is just laying on top, okay? There's going to be some major modifications to the gun. First, it's going to be a lot lower, so I'll be able to get the magazine tube on this side. Magazine tube will come out 90-degree elbow, just go straight back. I'm hoping to be able to load it through this hatch. If I can get 10 or 15 rounds in there, I'll be plenty happy. The brackets that I was just talking about will be in front of the barrel right here, okay? That's laying on top of the tank. And all of this will be removed. This handle will be removed. This trigger guard will be removed. I'll mount a servo right here, okay? The servo will stick up, and it'll have its little servo arm sticking out that goes doot 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 doot, and it'll have a rod to the trigger, and every time the servo goes doot doot, the trigger will go doot doot. I'll also be able to easily cock the gun because it is semi-automatic, but the first time you fire it, you got to cock it. So that'll be mounted right here in that bubble. That's where my frame will hang down, and I'll be clamped around the barrel right here. And that'll be my pivot points, my attachment and pivot points to the inner frame. And that'll tilt like that. And the outer frame has pivot points in top and bottom, and that'll let it traverse back and forth. This handle, I probably will greatly shorten this. This is not a regulator of any kind. That's what the guys at the paintball store were saying I'd have to watch for. If that's some kind of regulator, I can't alter it. But it's not. It's just a tube. So my CO2 will attach right there. My magazine feed will be right here, and I'll be able to reach in to cock it. My servo will be right here to pull my trigger, and I think that'll work. It'll all be mounted right here, pivoting like this and traversing like this, and that'll be right. I think that'll be good with the snout on it. Now, I don't think I got the barrel in the room. I'm going to use the barrel that came with the tank. These spider barrels just screw in, and they're interchangeable, and you can get like a 3-inch barrel to go on there. And I'll take that, and then I'll bore out the inside of the barrel that came with the tank to make it like a sleeve that goes across. And I might JB weld it or whatever. I'll have to check it out. I'm going to make that sleeve out to like .550 for a 50 caliber paintball, so that hopefully I'll be able to align it straight enough that it'll shoot out of the 4-inch barrel and not touch the sides of the other barrel before it reaches the muzzle. So, alright, sorry this is getting long, but I'm going to try and show you what I'm talking about. You can skim ahead, or if it's that boring, just turn it off, right? That's what we used to say about the stuff on TV. Hey, if you don't like it, man, you got an off button. Alright, so if I take the top off, it's going to take me a second to get this seated so that I can see inside here. Okay, this is the inside of the upper hull. Let me reach over with the gun. and the gun will go in like this, right here. Now this handle will be greatly shortened, this handle right here, and that's going to limit how far forward I can move the gun. Until that starts to touch the inside of the bubble is as far forward as I can go and still be able to elevate and get some traverse. I can't rub against the inside here, so my little frame is going to hang right about here. And I'll put it in right about there, and it'll hang straight down. And then the gun will go in there, and it'll mount to a collar right at the very end of the barrel where it screws in. So it'll sit just about like that. And then the servo will be down to pull the trigger. And then my feed, I don't have enough hands to show you this part. Let me see if I can do this. The feed the magazine feed is right here, but the gun will be more level, so there'll be just a little bit more room. And that's another thing I'll have to be really careful with. And I'm going to have to design and manufacture my own feed tube, but I'm going to copy the one on the paintball tank that uses the, you know those things that go on your belt that you hang your keychain on, and it's got a chain and you can pull it out and then it brings itself back up to your belt? That's the kind of mechanism that they're using to make a follower. But that's okay, because I got plenty of room underneath the magazine, so I can do whatever I need to do down there, as long as I don't get more out towards the outer wall. So that's what I'm thinking. What are you guys thinking? Let me know, and we'll see you next time.